Right. Superfood kale salad. So kale is one of my favorite greens because it is one of the most nutrient dense foods on the planet. Honestly, it is. It has not almost every, but tons of vitamins and minerals in it. It's low calorie. Um, and also, it absorbs dressing amazingly, especially if it's rubbed into the lettuce leaves. So, like some salads get very soggy, or some the dressing just kind of slides right off. Like romaine, in my opinion, dressing just does not stick to it. Kale is the exact opposite. If you rub it into the lettuce leaves, like I'm going to show you, I usually wear gloves, but I don't have them on today. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. It gives it such a great flavor, and if you chop it up really tiny, it's going to make a big difference. It's also a lot easier on your digestive system if you massage the dressing into the leaves compared to if you just ate it raw and cold, which is just kind of better overall. I'll just say that. So yeah, that is pretty much it on kale. So basically, I start with a big bowl of kale leaves. You can either buy it in a bag, you can buy it fresh and take it off the stem yourself. I just suggest washing it really good. Buy organic when you can, just because kale is one of those vegetables that is suggested to buy organic because it can, on occasion, have a higher level of pesticides, and you obviously don't really want to be ingesting that. So either wash it really, really well or buy organic when you can. So that's the first ingredient. The second one is hemp seeds. Like I talked about before, I'll show you guys them, or I'll try. I'm not sure where they'll be in focus, but these are hemp seeds. I bought these from one of the grocery stores locally. This is Bob's Red Mill brand, but anything that's the ingredient is only hemp seeds is totally good in my book. These have 10 grams of protein per serving. So they're a huge protein source, and they're plant-based. So they're great, a great way if you don't want to have like chicken or fish or whatever it is on your salad, or on anything. I just put a couple tablespoons of these on my food, and there's your protein. They also have 3 grams of fiber and a little bit of, yeah, 3 grams of, those are the two main benefits, is the fiber and protein. So I put those on my salad. And then next I have my walnuts, which is also healthy fats, great source of magnesium, and they taste great. So walnuts are definitely one of the more nutrient dense nuts that you can have. Then we're going to add, let's see what else. Okay, so the dressing I already made, only because I wasn't sure on time if we would have time to make the dressing as well. It is my superfood immunity boosting dressing, so I'm going to tell you guys what is in it and the benefits of each. This actually started from those immunity shots you see all over social media around flu season. Even when kind of the coronavirus, all of that started, you saw a lot more of those on social media. I had some left over one day, and I added some olive oil to it, and it made it a salad dressing because it is a mix of herbs and vinegars and lemons anyways. So I'm like, why don't I add some olive oil and turn it into a dressing? And it was actually very good. So then I decided to try it out with tahini, which is pure ground roasted sesame seeds, which is also used in many dressings, and it was even better. So that is where this salad dressing came from. I'll quickly tell you guys what's in it. So it's tahini, extra virgin olive oil, which both of those are healthy fats, good for brain health. They help your body to absorb vitamins and minerals better. They help you to stay full longer, good for hair, skin, and nails. So healthy fats are really beneficial for you, even though for so long we were taught to stay away from fat. I believe the complete opposite. Salt, pepper, turmeric. That is an extremely anti-inflammatory spice that you can use. So that is a crucial piece to this dressing because that's where a lot of the immunity boosting comes from, because it's anti-inflammatory. When you use that with ground black pepper, it helps your body to absorb it even better, and it is more effective. So that's why both of those are in this dressing. Garlic, if you have fresh garlic, that is always highly recommended. Minced garlic is the next best choice, and then organic powdered is third. But any of those will work in this dressing. Optional is a little bit of raw honey if you want it slightly sweet. I use the coconut aminos that I mentioned before because it has a slight sweet taste to it because it is from coconut. I buy mine from Trader Joe's. This is another literally game changer. I use it for everything, as you can see, because 2 recipes I'm talking to you guys about, I use coconut aminos for. Let's see what else, if I missed anything. A little bit of water to thin, that's gonna be based on personal preference. And then optional is nutritional yeast. That's another plant-based protein source that I add in. It gives it a little bit of a cheesy flavor. It does not have dairy in it, but it does kind of have that similar flavor. So that's an optional add-in. And any herbs and spices that you like that you think might kind of bring it up a level. I typically taste it and decide what I wanna add on that day. A splash of fresh orange juice, if you have it, is also great too, vitamin C. And then apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. Apple cider vinegar is good for so many reasons. I'm sure you guys have probably heard a little bit about that. Over the past couple of years, it kind of became like a fad thing. It's good for digestion. It's anti-inflammatory. Lemon obviously has vitamin C, and it's also good for digestion, anti-inflammatory. So either of those is perfect. You're gonna taste test it, and then you have your dressing. Shake it up, make sure it's close. I just put it in my shaker. I shake it up. If you have garlic, you're gonna wanna use a real clove of garlic. You're going to wanna use food processor or blender. I don't, I just use garlic powder this time. So I'm just shaking up in here and it's perfect. So I had already made this, add a little water to thin it out. So that's the dressing that we're using for this salad. And I just kind of eye it. I would probably suggest, based on if it's a serving of salad, you'd probably want to use a couple tablespoons. That's really based on personal preference. So I'm just gonna kind of cover that up well. Always add more after. The other ingredient that we're putting in the salad is blueberries, but I'm gonna add those at the end because otherwise it makes the salad blue and it kind of smashes in with the leaves. You may or may not want that. And I did forget crushed almonds as well. Just a little bit of crushed almonds. We already added the walnuts to this one. So then, as I mentioned, I'm gonna take my hands and I'm going to rub it into the kale leaves. Like I said, I usually use gloves because I don't really prefer to do this with my hands, but it makes such a big difference, and I wanted to show you guys. Should have done a close-up of the kale before I did this and then after, but I didn't. So I'm sure you guys have seen raw kale before, and if you haven't, look at it next time in the grocery store. The amount that's left in this bowl after I massage the dressing into it is about half, which shows you how much it helps to break down that lettuce before you even start to digest it. Okay, I'm gonna get that all off my hands. Like I said, I usually use gloves because I like to get it really well mixed into the lettuce leaves. Wash my hands. Sorry guys, little delay. So then I am going to sprinkle my blueberries on. And it still has a little bit of blueberry juice from them sitting out. It's okay. And then sprinkle with a little bit of hemp seeds. A little bit more. The other thing I love to add to my salad is any roasted leftover vegetables I have. And then typically, I'll be right back. I will add a piece of leftover salmon on top. So you guys can see that there. I have my bowl's really messy, sorry about that. My kale blueberry salad with my superfood immunity dressing with a piece of leftover broiled salmon on top, which is just another piece that I made with our dinners from the night before. So with my salads, many times I will just make that as we're cleaning up dinner, and then I'll put my leftover protein right on top. So basically I'm making 2 meals pretty much out of one, ready to go for the next morning to take to work. And honestly, the salads that I make are just as good or better than most of the ones that I purchase out. So that also helps me when I'm tempted, when everybody's ordering food out, from just doing that, because I know that most of the food that I'm making is going to taste almost or just as good, if not better. What I was saying before is a lot of times I will throw in my roasted vegetables in the salads as well, chop them up super tiny, especially roasted peppers and onions. They can really bring it up another level. In my recipe, I have a list of a few other add-ons that are really good to add as well, depending on what you have. Didn't want to overcomplicate this because I don't want to make it seem like it's unattainable if you don't have a million ingredients. Kalamata olives are also amazing to add as well. So that is pretty much everything. We have the superfood kale salad. We have the